Yo, is that Hearthstone? Oh, this? Nah, it's Teppen. Hey everyone, just want to make a little kind of discussion video talking about my thoughts about Teppen lately, kind of how it's been affecting the channel, the state of the game. And I'm kind of curious, like, what do you guys feel? How are you guys feeling about the game? Feel the same way? You feel different than me? Little discussion video for y'all. I am like exhausted today, so if I do a little rambling, I apologize. Try to keep it a little concise. First thing I've been feeling is that legendaries are kind of too good. A lot of decks have essentially boiled down to like legendary spam. You've got like red decks, which are legendary spam with some actions thrown in there. You've got green decks, which are legendary spam with shields thrown in there. For purple, I think they're kind of safe in terms of legendary spam, for better or for worse. I mean, I think the X-Hunters type decks, those tend to be like legendary spammy type decks, just because they do play a lot of legendaries to hit the top end. And then, but like slow purple and lock purple, I think are not so legendary heavy, as much as like the red and green decks. And then black's kind of in the same situation where you've got like really high powered legendary cards which kind of dominate the late game. You've got like Bolt Reavers to close out games. Orochi's just been a menace forever. All the field wipe things like Cruel Game, Living Death, can't even remember all their names, man. The new Oichi one and the Memories, Rebels Memories, like it's, you kind of just like slap those all in and then you put an engine around them, which tends to be the zombie engine with Junis, zombies, gates and stuff. And that's like for Raging Demon and for Oichi. So like basically what I'm getting at is legendaries are too good and they're kind of dominating. I'd like to see more decks like Slow Purple and Lock Purple, which are like more synergy oriented, be able, you know, they don't have to like disappear. I don't necessarily need a legendary limit, but I'd prefer it if our like kind of synergistic strategies were on par or better than I play good card, I play good card, I play good card. Because like there's a lot of games where you're like, oh, I lose because he has a card, he has a legendary, and I can't do anything about it. Point two, I think that I wanted to talk about, and I guess it's kind of like 1B in a way, was that the decks are kind of feeling samey because the legendaries are so good. I mean, you've got like, so let's take, I think red's a good example. We've got Denjin Renki, we've got Jail Explore, and we've got Celestial Envoys, and these are just all three flavors of red legendary spam. One, Denjin Renki uses more actions. Jail uses Explorers as the engine, and then Celestial Envoys uses like cheap attackers that get buffed up. But then their top end, it's all just like, it's all the same legendaries. They're kind of the same, slightly different flavors of the same deck because the legendaries are just too good. And I think the sameness feel of the decks for me has been affecting the channel. That's why I haven't touched some of the decks. Like I don't think I've actually made a like top meta Dispel, Roll, and Perish deck list to show you all because they're all kind of the same, and I don't feel like there's value for me to show you maybe a version that I would play that has like one or two cards different. Like, is that valuable than when you could like just see one on the like feature matches on Teppen, you know? So that's, I think, why maybe not every deck is getting onto the channel. Is just I feel like, especially with this set, and I guess I was going to talk about this later, but we can talk about this Ada set, which I think did some things very good and then some things really bad. And so kind of tying into what I've been talking about sameness is what it did badly, right? It's the green and red support I consider like bad. Like there were some good, really good cards in there, but they didn't have like a theme, I guess. And so you had red where like there's some explore stuff, but none of it really makes the explore decks better. And there's Denjin stuff, and it makes the Denjin deck slightly better. And there's some Celestial Envoy stuff, and you know, maybe it's one or two cards that you add to that deck that make it better. And so I'm like, okay, well, I've got like my Celestial Envoy deck that I was playing before, and like I could add in the new Rathalos, but then is like that a value add to you all to just see the same deck, but with the new Rathalos added in, it like didn't really, it's not really that much different. I feel like you guys can figure that out. And that's actually why I haven't done like a Raging Demon deck profile since September, actually, because I feel like the deck isn't that much different. I think kind of red was all over the place for Ada, and then green was also kind of all over the place. Like there was growth, there was humans, there was like this weird human growth stuff, there was some monster stuff in there. And I think when you see green decks, you either see red green shield spire still, which there's nothing really added. They didn't really get anything new besides a few like legendary actions, and mono green legendary spam, which the only thing they're playing is the new feline MP boost. So you know, nothing really like came out of that either. But what I think Ada did do well, the set, people are getting on me for calling her Ada instead of Ada. I gotta get used to that. But with the set, A Dark Agenda, which we can call Ada, I think purple and black did very well, because black is very heavy into the revenge engine. It was like, boom, here's revenge. New, like they added some new things where you get like 2 bodies and one of them has revenge. And I've seen some of those, you know, cards being played and stuff. Like maybe not a lot, but it has a theme and it's nice. And like people try to fit in whatever cards they think into like other decks, like the legendaries and stuff. And they added a little splash. Like they gave a little bit of love to like the spirits with the new Oichi. You know, it's like a little bit, but like overall, black as itself has an identity this set, and it's revenge. And then with purple, overall, the identity is lock. Like pretty much every card in the set is revolved around this lock, and it makes it fun. It makes a new mechanic, a new deck to explore and play around. And then they added the little like halt life gain engine too, with the Morgan and the baby Morgan. I'm so tired, I can't remember her name. But I think that's the style of support I like, where it's like we get one kind of theme for each color, and then you know you give a little goodies for like one other archetype. You're not trying to like explore and like give everything something, because then it's just kind of like washed up, and like you get like one card and like maybe it's not even good enough to like add into your deck, and then you're like, okay, I'm just playing the same deck. It's not that exciting. It's better just to have new stuff. So along with that, I think that the Force Seekers and what was it called, the Devil Awakens, I think those were really good sets too, because the flip side of every color having its own theme is every color gets their access to a new mechanic. So it would be like if the Ada set came in with lock for every color, it wouldn't make any sense, but like I think it was cool. Like Ascend was the new mechanic, everybody got it, and it was fun and exciting. Everybody got like this new type of deck to play around with. So that's kind of my thoughts on like what makes sets good and what Ada did good and bad, and what I'd like to see more of. You know, I'd like to see more of these kind of like concise themed focuses within the colors. So you don't have like this red issue of like, well, is it humans, or like, are we trying to support humans? Are we trying to support explore? Are we trying to support monsters? Are we trying to support dungeon? Are we trying to support? It's just all over the place. It doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't like make me excited to like update any of my decks, because it's like, oh, cool, I gotta change out one card in my deck. So I keep repeating this throughout the video, and I'm like, what is it valuable to you all if I make, you know, a Celestial Envoy deck that has one card different than my last one? Or like there's some new Spike Launch support and it's kind of cool, but like it's like 1 or 2 cards different than it was before. Is like that really is it like really a big difference? Is it fun for me and is it fun for you? I don't really know, and it's just like I'm just not excited to like update with one new card. I'm more excited to like get the whole revenge engine, or like the whole lock engine, you know what I mean? And it's kind of that thing, I guess, to bring up an example is Raging Demon. Is I haven't made a Raging Demon deck for a while. Actually, we can look it up. So I actually haven't looked back at my old Raging Demon deck, but I haven't done it in a while because I feel like it's essentially the same deck, but with Tube Fox or Tube Foxes added in. Okay, so I looked at this Serpent God deck. This is just an Orochi spam deck. It's not an actual Raging Demon deck. But we go back to this one, which is six months ago. This is what we're looking at. I mean, people play more Alfreds now. There's Tube Foxes now, but it's it's, you know, it's basically the same deck with a few more legendaries thrown in. Like, going back to the one of the other points is like, you just figure out how to fit more legendaries in here and added one card and we're Gucci. So that's kind of why I haven't wanted to come back to this deck, because I feel like, you know, even though it's been like 6 months, you know, what new stuff is there really? It's not really that new. It's kind of the same. And that's actually part of why I make videos, is because I like to keep track of what decks are popular and what decks are good, and then I can kind of go back and be like, oh, how did this deck get built in the past? I think it's interesting. Although now that I think about it, and if I'm not doing certain decks, then I don't do that. So okay, maybe I have to rethink that a little bit. But anyway, that's kind of like my thoughts, is like, things have been pretty samey. You know, Raging Demon's not really changed in like 6 months, and this deck's basically the same as the Despair, Will, and Perish deck. And so I'm really excited for Standard, because if we take a look at this deck, we're getting a huge rotation, right? We're getting Day of Nightmares gone, whatchamacallit, Force Seeker's gone, Devil Awakens gone. So and so with all those sets going away, I mean, you lose the Ashfords, you lose Mastery of Hado, so a lot of their resource generation and their destruction is getting taken away, and they're gonna have to adapt. And then you think about decks like Ouroboros, which haven't changed at all, so we can actually look at that too. So Ouroboros, when was the last time I made an Ouroboros deck? I don't know. I mean, I did Ouroboros for this. There's a how to play Ouroboros. Where are you? Where are you? I don't think have I never made an Ouroboros. New meta Ouroboros. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Let's get the deck. Okay. I mean, this one is different, but like Tyrant, Gorm Golem, Living Death, Rebirth, False Throne. This one uses a little bit of the mill engine, but it's kind of the same, right? There's not much has changed here. Maybe people are putting more legendaries. You got Cruel Game, you got Rebels Memories and stuff. This was August. This was like almost a year, it's like 9 months ago. It's crazy, right? We're 7 months ago. So like things just pretty samey, and I want to switch up, because it's not only going to be about what new cards we get added in each set. You know, take this Ouroboros deck for example. Nothing really coming in from the new Ada set. So why do you really need to update your deck? But now you got things going out, and the new card set that we don't even know about is going to be coming in. So you're going to get excited about new cards, and then you also have to figure out how to account for the old cards. It's going to be more exciting for deck building. It's just going to be a little bit more interesting, and so I'm excited for that. Kind of in rotation waiting room. So that's kind of my thoughts, my state of the game for Teppen. But you know, I still love the game. I still enjoy playing it a lot, but the sameness is getting to me a little bit. So I'm very excited for Standard. But yeah, let me know what you think. Are Legendaries too good? Are they too oppressive, too unfun, as some might say? And are you looking forward to rotation, adding in a little Standard format, keep things new and fresh? Or, you know, maybe you just want to stick with Unlimited and play all your favorite decks forever and never have to update them, because it's going to be harder and harder to like out-creep the current decks. Like, you know, we still got cards being used from Day of Nightmares and TDA, and you know, those cards aren't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. So I gotta stop rambling. Enjoy your day and keep on learning, having some fun with me here on the Durian channel. I'll catch you in another video. Peace.